Can China build a proper luxury car? Now, they're certainly good at doing value for money and cars that feel more expensive than they actually are, but something that's properly luxurious, you know, to take on a Range Rover and even a Bentley? I'm not so sure. But this is the Yangwang U8, and it's China flexing its muscles going, hey Europe, what we can do. It's packed full of tech and has lashings of leather. There's a ton of features to make your life easier and even smell sweeter. More on this later. Plus, apparently this car can do things that really might surprise you. And wait till we get to the performance, because let's just say it's got lots. Whoa! But at over £130,000, is it too expensive for a Chinese car? I think it might be, but maybe I'm going to find out that I'm wrong. I'm Matt Watson, you're watching CarWow. The U8 has some insane performance, 1,200 horsepower and 1,280 newton meters of torque. It's loads, but it's mad how it produces it. Look at this. It's just got a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder petrol engine. How on earth does it do it? You see, this car doesn't just use petrol power. It also uses electric power. So we've got a 50 kilowatt hour battery pack which powers 4 electric motors, 1 on each wheel. The petrol engine just works as a generator to provide electricity when the main battery runs out, so you've always got charge and always got performance. The downside is that all this tech adds to the weight. This thing weighs in at 3.5 tons. So how does the power to weight ratio compare to some other luxury performance SUVs? The new Range Rover SV has 220 horsepower per tonne. The Bentley Bentayga Speed has 264 horsepower per tonne. The Tesla Cyber Beast has 275 horsepower per tonne. But this Yangwang U8 has way more, 346 horsepower per tonne. So what does this translate to in reality? Let's launch it. Come on. Come on! This Yangwang just did the standing quarter mile in 12.4 seconds, which is slightly quicker than the BMW X7 M60i. However, that car only has 530 horsepower, which is less than half than the U8. But then the BMW also weighs 800 kilograms less, and that brings me on to another issue. With a few passengers on board, this Yangwang could easily weigh over 3.5 tons. And in the UK, that's a bit of a problem. If you passed your driving test after 1996, you can't legally drive a car weighing over 3.5 tons without doing an extra test. An old person like me can though. Anyway, that's not the only quibble I have with this car. They've done a bit of copying. Well, actually, they've done a lot of copying. Land Rover Defender. This whole roof section here, so Land Rover Defender. This panel here, yeah, on the Land Rover it's kind of here, but it's influenced by the Land Rover. The shape of the body panels, Land Rover. Even the shape of the door mirrors, same. But there are things that are different, so they've added more bits to it. More bits here. There's more bits down there. I'd say the design isn't as clean as the Land Rover, but you know, the basic shape, Land Rover. But what about the back? They're trying to be a bit more subtle around the back. It's like, yeah, copy the Land Rover, but just try and hide it. So let's make the spare wheel an octagon shape, and let's go crazy with the LED lights. No one will know. It's now completely different. I tell you what is completely different though. The front, nothing like a Land Rover in any way, shape or form. I'd like to say it's its own thing with all these kind of crazy lights on it, but it's not. Reason is, these lights, Nissan Juke. The whole front, Citroen DS. Do I care though? No, I don't. It's definitely got presence, and wait till you see the inside. So, shape of the dash, clearly inspired by Bentley, and maybe this from Mercedes. But like those brands, it feels proper quality in here. So like the leather is lovely, really nice. And the steering wheel buttons feel expensive. These rotator dials which change your modes, they feel really solid and quality. Same with the switchgear, the paddle shifters, the steering wheel. Everything you touch has a luxurious edge to it. Really nice. Ooh. If you're wondering what that noise is, it's because in Dubai they always like to have tinted windows, so it's making a bit of a noise when you're lowering the window. Otherwise it probably wouldn't do that, because these windows, they are double glazed.
This is double pane soundproof glass.
Down here, the charging pad, which has 50 watts charging speed. 2 of them lined with Alcantara. The roof is lined with Alcantara. Everything just feels exquisite. In here, you have a fridge, of course. Down here, you have some more storage. And in there, if I just press this, you have special little perfumes, which will cycle through depending on what mood you're in, to send some nice scents coming out of the air vents. In terms of storage, we have a felt-lined glove box. The door bins, though, I think things will fall out of those when you're accelerating hard, because they're not very deep. The infotainment system and the digital driver's display, obviously being Chinese, there's lots of tech and you can cycle through different menus. And then these roller switches to go into different driving modes. There's a little extra switch panel here at the side of the digital driver's display, which is a touch-sensitive control panel for things like your headlights, your hybrid system and your heads-up display. Woo! And the main display as well, I just put it into sport mode. The main display, look at the speed on that, that is responsive. And yes, you have to use the screen to do things like the climate control. There's no physical buttons, but you can configure it and swipe through all your different menus quickly there, like that. There's some solid filling toggle switches, which are for you, like your driving modes, like your locking diff and stuff like that. And we appear to have some music. I don't know what that meant, but it's made the screen go off. I feel like I'm in a spa. And of course, the passenger has their own screen to mess about with as well. Oh, look, we've got a big glass roof. That's nice. Inside, it feels premium. It feels like a car that costs over £100,000. I've got a lot of tech in here as well. What about for passengers though? Well, it's just as luxurious as in the front. You've got the same accoutrements. No skimping back here. Same leather extended all the way down there, same soft carpets. And then there's the room. Look, I've got loads of room. I don't need any more room. Look, loads of room. But if I want some more room, I can have some more room. Check this out. Press this button here. That's going to move out the way, and then I can just recline my seat, put on my headrest, extend my seat base a little bit. Yeah, this is lovely. And of course there's a massage function on every single seat, but that's not the only tech here in the back. The Chinese love a screen. We have a screen here, we have a screen here, and we have a screen for the climate control. Seems to be in Chinese language. Don't know if we've accidentally changed the language to Chinese. Let's move on to the best screen, which is under here. Ooh. So this one is the control center, and you can do lots of different things with the screen. So you can change the seating position, the heating and ventilation of the seats here in the back. You can also control the music and various features such as opening and closing the windows. You know, if you don't want to press the button over there, you can open and close the sunroof. We can do the sunshades. I think I'll keep it open because there's something else I want to show you. If you look carefully at this glass, it looks like it's had a tint on it and then someone hasn't fitted it properly because there's air bubbles. They're not air bubbles, they're special LED embedded units in the glass. Watch this. If I press this button for the Starlight headliner, I can change the colours of those streaks. Can you see? Obviously the effect is much better when it's dark. I've got a way of simulating that. Let's get some coats over it.
I don't think anyone has a coat.
I'm going to need this carpet, and I'm just going to pop it on the roof. There we go. And maybe the other one. Okay. Cover this up a bit like that. Let's see if that's done the job. So imagine it's night time. Look! Look! There we are, driving around at night. Yay, that's good. Now let's change the colours. Blue, green, orange, and red. There's some more tech in the boot, and this is kind of like fun, silly tech. It's under here. Hasn't actually been opened by the owner. It's a microphone because this has a karaoke machine built into it. But it's not just about nonsense, it's about practicality. So we've got a big square boot. Look, it's like a G-Wagon in terms of the capacity. And you have some handy features such as, look, I can lower the car down on its air suspension to make it easier to load. Ooh, yeah. And then with the press of a button, fold down the rear seats. Let's do the other one as well. Or not. Oh. I realised why it was taking so long. It doesn't just fold the seat back down, it folds out the seat squab first, so you get a completely flat low bed. And this is the problem. Classic European guy judging Chinese cars without knowing what he's talking about. Sorry, China. Don't hate me. I might want to visit sometime. Oh, and look, obviously on a car like this you have soft closed doors, but you even have it here. And it's raising the suspension back up now for me because I've loaded it and it's all good. Clever. Do you know what? I've just realised how totally stupid I've been because I didn't even need to press the buttons and hold them down. Just press one of these and it does it all automatically. I was too busy just like jabbing away and making it go up, down, up, down, up, down. I just didn't know what was going on because I couldn't see the seat squabs moving. Hopefully I can live this down. Clearly, this Yangwang is packed with loads of tech, even if some of the features take a bit of getting used to. But how much does it all cost? Chinese cars tend to be a lot cheaper than Western competitors. For example, Yangwang's parent company BYD sells one of the cheapest new electric cars in the UK right now. It's a £19,000 Dolphin Surf. But this U8 is a bit different. In China, it costs the equivalent of £120,000, and it will cost significantly more than £130,000 once you've imported it to Europe or the UK. Okay, so maybe that's less than half the price of a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, but it isn't a million miles away from a Range Rover SV or an entry-level Bentley Bentayga. So this U8 has to feel like a true premium SUV to drive, or it's game over. Right, from the get-go, I can tell this car's been set up with luxury in mind. It's very quiet, I don't really hear much of what's going on the outside. Then there's the comfort. So here's a speed hump. It should swallow this up. It's heavy, but it's also got air suspension, so oh, yeah, nice and soft. Sometimes though, the Chinese cars, they lack the finesse over the more tricky bumps, like the small high frequency bumps. So here's some here. There. That's actually all right. Better than I thought it might be. The suspension isn't quite as wafty as a Bentley, and definitely not a Rolls-Royce. But for the money, it feels all right. Considering it's got 1200 horsepower, the throttle response is quite progressive. I don't feel intimidated, though I am in comfort mode. Maybe that'll change in sport mode. There is an eco mode. I shan't be going there. I'm not driving particularly quickly. I'm only like crawling along at 30. The steering does what most Chinese cars do. It just feels a little bit disconnected. It's not terrible. Let's just have a little squirt here. Oh, hello. Blimey. There's a momentary delay and then it just takes off. And then you have to brake quickly. And then you notice the car's weight. Okay, here's a little bit of open road. I'm gonna go into sports mode. There we go, sport, I'm gonna floor it. Whoop! You can feel that it's a heavy car, but the way it manages to shift is quite impressive. I'm gonna do it again. Whoa! It sort of pitches like that and loses traction on the front axle because the nose is in the air. Oh, hello. Let's do it again. Whoa. Apparently this car can swim, so a little bit of water like this, no problem at all. According to Yangwang, the U8 can float for about half an hour and use its wheels like paddles to cruise along at a whopping 2 miles an hour. But obviously it's only for emergencies. You can't drive across the channel or anything daft like that. But this car does have some other gadgets that might be genuinely useful. Well, so long as you can get them to work. Being a big car, it can be tricky to park, but you do have surround view cameras. Look, see, and auto parking. How does it work? Ah, park. Do not. Oh, do prompt, sure. It's in Chinese, don't know what I've just agreed to. How do you do this? Auto parking. Confirm. Oh, that's confirm. Is this going to work or not? Let's try again. Parking. I want that space. That one, there, that one. Oh, looks a bit glitchy. Is it going to work? No. This is your last chance. Oh, that one. Is it happy? It was starting to do it, and then I bottled it. There, we're on. We're on. You ready? Can it get it nice and central? It's going to do it. Come on. It's freaked out. Stop now. Stop. You need to stop now. Please stop. Oh, it's done it, did it? Let's have a look. Oh my God. That is just like, let me check this. This is madness. So that to there is that part of my shoe. There's no way it can have got it exactly the same on the other side. Come on, let's see. Oh no, it didn't. That's a centimetre difference. It's rubbish, this car, don't buy one, terrible. I'm only joking, but does all this prove that China has finally built a proper luxury SUV? Well, on paper, yes. This Yangwang has even more tech than something like a Range Rover or a Bentley, and it has way more power, plus will turn more heads. And best of all, it's less expensive. So what's not to like? Well, the name for one. Half the reason people buy a luxury car is the badge. And I'm sorry, but I don't think Yangwang will ever have quite the kudos as Bentley or Range Rover. Or maybe I'm just being British. But there is something about the way this car drives which exudes a feeling of luxury. I don't think that if you're in the market for a big luxurious SUV with some performance, You're going to be disappointed by this. And just like it has done to me, it could well surprise you.